It's time to rest now. Take a long, slow breath in, and let it all go again, just like that, in and out. Allow your shoulders to drop, unclench your jaw, soften the space behind your eyes. You are safe here, in this quiet moment, where only soft sounds and stories drift through the air like candle smoke. Let your mind sink into the mattress and imagine a warm little village tucked deep into a fold of green hills, where the breeze smells faintly of moss, of old wood, smoke, and something sweet baking in someone's heart. The air is cool and calm, a whisper of leaves brushing gently in the dark. Maybe there's a cat tiptoeing across a windowsill, or the faint hoot of an owl far away. Let it all blur softly together and come closer, now. Come into this story with me, because our story tonight begins in a crooked, cobbled lane, where a cobbler stitched shoes that never, ever wore out. The lane twisted like a ribbon, sloping downward between crooked stone cottages whose roofs leaned toward each other, almost whispering. Lanterns hung on iron hooks bent and rusted with time, swaying ever so gently, casting long, sleepy shadows onto the cobblestones. The ground here was always a little damp. The wind is always a little quiet. At the very end of the lane, where the ivy grew thicker and the moss was underfoot like a patch of forest floor, there sat the cobbler's tiny shop. You wouldn't know it was open. There was no sign, no lights, but if you passed by after midnight and you listened very, very closely, you might hear it. That soft, slow rhythm, creak, hum, the sound of leather being bent, folded, stitched, a needle pulling through the sole and skin, as if the shoes were breathing in the dark. Master Tom, the midnight cobbler. They called him Master Tom, though no one could remember when he earned the title, or if he ever had an apprentice. He was an old man, or perhaps just a quiet one. People weren't sure. No one saw him in the daytime. He was never at the market, never fetching water from the square. But sometimes, just sometimes, a fresh pair of shoes would appear on someone's doorstep. No coin requested, just laced, polished, and waiting like a gift. They were always perfect, soft as silk inside, strong as armor underneath, and somehow they never wore down, not even after years of walking. Not even after winters full of ice or fields full of thorns. People said it was magic, old village magic. But no one questioned it too loudly, because in villages like these, tucked away from maps and kings, people knew better than to disturb the old ways. What no one saw, what only the mice and the moths and the quiet things knew, was that Tom didn't use ordinary thread. No spools, no needles from the market. Each night, when the stars crept out and blinked like sleepy eyes above, he would unroll a tiny bundle wrapped in silver silk, and there in the moonlight was the thread. Not spun from cotton nor dyed by hand. It shimmered faintly like the surface of a still lake catching the sky. Fairy thread. That's what it was called in old books. Thread that couldn't fray. Thread spun by moonborn creatures who lived beneath roots and dew. It was said that if you spoke kindly to the Fae and never took more than you gave, they might offer you a gift in return. A spool of endless thread, one strand for each good deed you'd done in your life. And Tom had done many. The warm glow within the shop, inside the shop, the air was still and warm, not hot, just cozy. A fire crackled in a tiny stone hearth, where a single kettle hung, forever steaming gently. The scent of rosemary and something sweet, perhaps dried apples, hung in the air like a lullaby. Shelves lined the walls, filled with shoes in every size. Some were soft leather boots with velvet trim, others rougher cobbled for farmers with wide feet and hard ground beneath them. All of them are handmade. All of them are waiting. But Tom never rushed. He stitched slowly as if each seam were a secret. Each night he made only one pair, sometimes for a stranger, sometimes for a child with aching feet, sometimes for no one in particular. He would simply know whose souls needed softening. Some said the shoes whispered in the night, that if you wore them while you slept, you'd daydream of the places they longed to go. A silver beach by a quiet sea, a forest of lantern-lit trees, a mountaintop with clouds brushing your cheeks like silk. But more often than not, the shoes simply fit as if they'd been made not for your feet, but from them. They wrapped around you like a memory. They carried you quietly, gently, firmly forward, and they never tore, not once. Not even when old Mr. Bennet wore them through 3 winters of muddy fields. Not even when young Clara danced all night at the harvest feast. They endured, as if the road itself stepped aside to let them pass. In the stillest hour, just before dawn, when even the stars seemed to blink slower, Tom would stop. He'd lift his head, lay down the finished shoes, and look toward the back wall of the shop where no door stood, but a faint outline of one could be seen if the moonlight hit just right. No one had ever opened that door, but sometimes the smell of wildflowers drifted from it. Sometimes Tom nodded at it and said nothing. The Fae, after all, speaks in silence, and some pacts are better left unspoken. And now the fire dims, the thread is tucked away once more. The shoes rest beside the hearth, ready for their journey. And Master Tom leans back in his old oak chair, arms folded, eyes closing with the softest sigh. The lane outside is quiet again. Even the lanterns seem to sway a little slower. So you too may rest now. Your feet have carried you far today and tomorrow. Who knows what path your shoes will find beneath the stars? Let the silence linger, let the warmth of the hearth remain and drift softly into sleep. If these quiet tales are helping you drift off, a gentle like or a silent subscribe would mean the world. It helps this sleepy corner of the internet reach others who need a little calm too. I always wonder, where in the world are you listening from right now? If you're still awake, leave a whisper of a comment, maybe your city and the time on your clock. It's a beautiful thing, this quiet little global gathering, all connected through stories and stillness. Now, let's set the mood, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and get comfortable. Let's continue one autumn evening, just as the wind turned crisp and golden leaves began to dance along the cobblestones. A girl named Maris trudged wearily into the crooked village lane. Her boots were soaked through the soles, flapping like fish, and with each step her feet sank deeper into the cold of the road. She'd walked far over hills, through marshes, past quiet farms that didn't wave her in. Her eyes were kind, but tired, and her coat is just barely holding together. She stopped outside the cobbler's crooked little shop, not because of a sign, not because she knew what waited inside, but because something warm, some ancient hush in the stone, whispered that she was no longer lost. The door creaked open before she touched it, not fast, not loud, just slow, as if it had been waiting for her. Inside, the fire flickered gently. The light was soft, golden, full of motes of dust that drifted like snowflakes in the air. She stood in the doorway, unsure, and then she saw him. Master Tom bent, slightly white-haired, eyes like tree barks, seated behind his little bench, working a needle through leather so smoothly it seemed like the shoe was making itself. He didn't look up, didn't ask her name. He only said, "Your feet have come a long way, haven't they?" Maris nodded, swallowed hard. And Tom smiled just a little. "Sit, child. Let the road rest." Tom reached beneath his bench, pulling out the silver-wrapped bundle. He unrolled it, slowly, reverently, and there it was again, the thread, still faintly glowing, still shimmering like a sliver of starlight caught in spider silk. As his fingers moved, the glow pulsed softly warm when he pulled it tight, cool when he eased it through. It wasn't ordinary sewing. It was a kind of weaving between worlds. The fabric of the shoe meets the fabric of something much deeper. Maris watched, mesmerized, as if the thread was singing a lullaby only her bones could hear. "What is that thread?" she whispered, not meaning to interrupt. Tom paused. He looked up, not startled, not annoyed, just thoughtful. "Some call it a fairy thread," he said. "Some say it's woven by the moon. Others think it grows beneath trees that no longer exist." He ran the needle slowly through the leather. "But I think it's made from kindness, real kindness, the kind you give away without knowing." Maris blinked. "Kindness can make thread." Tom chuckled softly, a sound like a well-loved chair creaking. "In some places," he said, "kindness is the only thing that holds anything together." By the time the fire had sunk into glowing coals, the shoes were finished. Not flashy, not decorated, just a simple, soft brown with a curve that seemed made for Maris' own feet. Tom knelt before her and slid them on, and as he did, she gasped, because the moment her foot touched the inside, something woke up. Not just warmth, but memory. Suddenly, she felt her mother's laugh in her chest, felt the old stone of her villages well under her palm, heard the song her brother once hummed before sleep. The shoes remembered for her what she had nearly lost. Outside, the lane waited. The wind had stalled. The stars blinked brighter. Maris stood at the threshold, new shoes hugging her like a promise. "These will carry you where you're meant to be," Tom said softly behind her. "Where is that?" she asked. He shrugged. "Wherever your heart doesn't feel heavy." And then, with no sound at all, the shop door closed behind her. The lanterns swayed gently above, and the cobblestones, once rough and cold, now felt like stepping stones across a stream of moonlight. Now, dear listener, let the image linger of a girl walking gently into the night shoes that hum with magic. Stars like tiny, glowing seeds above her. A village asleep, a fire low, and somewhere behind the thick old ivy and bent window panes, Master Tom, stitching again, thread pulling softly, needle slipping through the past, the present, the road ahead, soft as breath, sure as dreams. So you can rest now. You've walked far too. Let your mind tuck into the glow of that little shop. Let your thoughts soften like worn leather. And if your shoes have carried sorrow, today know that tonight they will carry rest. Tomorrow, they will carry hope. Drift, breathe, rest. Far beyond the village, in a grove where no path dared tread, old trees whispered secrets in a language older than time. It was here, beneath the roots of a willow, shaped like an open hand, that the thread was born. Not spun with spindles, not dyed in vats, but coaxed gently from the bark, drop by a shimmering drop like sap that shimmered silver. They said wood elves lived there, though few had seen them, slender shapes, with eyes like river stones, and footsteps lighter than snow. and they wove the thread only for those the forest trusted, only for those who had given more than they ever took. A visit from the owl messenger back in his shop. Master Tom paused in his work. He felt at first the air shift, colder, thinner, as if something had opened just slightly between worlds. Then the softest tap, tap, tap on the window pane. An owl, feathers the color of dusk, eyes full of secrets. In its beak, a small scroll bound in bark ribbon. Tom opened the window, letting in a breeze that smelled faintly of pine and distant rain. The owl waited, watching. He took the scroll, unrolled it slowly. 1 line, 5 words. The last thread comes soon. Tom nodded quietly. I understand, he whispered, and the owl was gone, just like that. Tom sat for a long time, staring at the fire. It crackled softly, like gentle thoughts clicking into place. The last thread. He'd always known it would come. Fairy thread was never promised forever. He had used it wisely, kindly, for tired feet and aching hearts, for lost children and old dancers, and now it will end. But not before one last pair, one last journey. He reached under the bench, hands steady, and took the final silver-wrapped bundle. Inside was a thread no longer glowing brightly. It shimmered faintly now, like the last breath of a candle. The stranger, with no footprints. That night, just after the last ember in the hearth dimmed to a soft red glow, the door creaked open again. But this time, no wind entered, no footsteps sounded, only the scent of frost and something sweet like honeysuckle at midnight. Tom looked up, and there, standing in the doorway, was a man dressed in storm-colored robes. No boots, no shoes, no sound at all. But somehow, he'd walked miles. His cloak was dusted with salt, his hair with petals, his eyes with years. Are you the cobbler? He asked, voice like wind through hollow trees. I am, Tom replied gently. Then I've come to leave something behind. Shoes for the end of the road. The man placed a small satchel on the workbench. Tom opened it slowly. Inside, old coins worn smooth by time, a lock of child's hair, a crumbled letter sealed with wax. Things people carry when they're ready to go, but want to leave something behind. You've walked far, Tom said softly. The man nodded. And now I wish to rest. But I want the journey I've taken to carry someone else. Someone not yet weary. Tom understood. He always understood. And so he reached for the final thread and began to stitch, not with haste, not with sadness, but with quiet reverence, the way one folds a love letter or a goodbye. As Tom worked, the fire dimmed further. The night deepened into velvet, and the shoes began to take shape. Soft leather, but strong, worn in, but new. The soles held patterns, subtle ones, like the rings of a tree or ripples in a pond. Marks of places traveled now woven into something wearable. The thread pulled tighter, dimmer, and then gone. The final stitch, a knot like a heartbeat, and the shoes were ready. The man looked at them, then at Tom. You've given me peace, he said. May they give someone else wonder. And with that, he vanished, as if he had never been there, leaving only the shoes behind. Outside, the stars yawned wider. The moon tilted lower, and in the cobbler's shop, the final pair of shoes sat by the hearth, waiting, not for just any traveler, but for someone with a heart open to the road ahead. Someone who walks, not for escape, but for discovery. And as Tom closed his eyes that night, he dreamt not of footsteps past, but of new paths, new meadows, new beginnings, just like you, Perhaps as you drift now into sleep, wrapped in warmth, walking soft roads beneath your thoughts, threaded with kindness and stitched with stars. Let go now, the path will wait. You are safe and you are home. Sleep is near. The boy with the hollow step. The following week, just as the last leaves gave their final twirl down the winding lane, a boy arrived. His name was Elias, and though he didn't speak much, you could tell by the way he walked that something was missing. His step had no sound, not because of the shoes he wore, none, but because his heart had grown so quiet it no longer echoed through his feet. He moved like mist seen, but barely felt. He wasn't running away, he wasn't running toward, he was simply drifting, drawn, perhaps, by something older than him, something stitched into the cobblestones themselves. When Elias pushed open the shop door, it didn't creak this time, it sighed, as if it had expected him. Inside, the fire was glowing faintly. Tom wasn't at the bench, but on the floor, beside the warmth, stood the shoes. The last pair. Soft, simple, silent. They were waiting for him. Not in a grand way, not dramatic, just patiently, as if they had always known his name. Elias sat on the wooden stool. He reached for the shoes, like someone brushing the surface of a dream, and slid them on. The shoes welcomed his feet, like a lullaby welcomes sleep. They didn't just fit, they understood the places he'd wandered, the silence he carried, the weight of untold words. And as the leather hugged him, something happened. Not loudly, not quickly, but deeply. His step filled in that hollow space. It softened, not vanished, but no longer empty. He stood. I walked once across the room. The floor creaked softly under him. A sound, a presence, a return. The sound of rain and healing outside. It began to rain. Soft drops at first, then steadier. The kind of rain that doesn't drench, but invites reflection. Elias stood at the doorway, watching the water pool in tiny puddles, tracing paths down the crooked cobblestones, and then he stepped outside. The shoes held firm beneath him, no slipping, no sinking, just a steady rhythm, and the rain welcomed him, too, washing away not the memory, but the numbness, letting him feel again, one drop at a time. From inside the shop, Tom watched. He didn't speak. He didn't need to. He simply smiled, softly, the kind of smile one wears when a garden finally blooms after a long winter. Then he turned back to his bench. There was no thread now, no leather waiting, but still he sat, hands folded, eyes calm, for he knew some stories were stitched just once, but their seams last forever. And now, dear dreamer, let your mind follow Elias as he steps out into the rain-soaked world. Each footstep is steady, each breath is softer than the last. No destination needed, just the sound of rain, the memory of warmth, the hush of a cobbler's shop where kindness lived in every stitch. Let that image wrap around you like a quilt. Feel the leather of your thoughts soften, the laces of tension loosen, and the road ahead. It's not made of stone or dirt, it's made of peace, and you're already on it. Sink deeper now into soft soil, starlit shoes, and dreams that never wear out. Sleep is all around you. Long before the cobbler's hands ever touched leather, before the crooked lane was laid, before even the trees that now shaded the village had taken root, there was a single moment, a cold night, a quiet clearing, and a star that fell from the sky, not with fire, not with fury, but gently, like a feather. It landed in a pool of still water, beneath a ring of ancient trees. And from that light, the thread was born. Not spun, not crafted, just formed. A gift not from gods, but from the earth itself. The first cobbler wasn't Tom. It was a girl, nameless now, remembered only in the winds that curl around old stones. She was kind, clever, and poor. And one night she sat beneath those same trees, her own feet blistered from walking, and whispered, "If I could mend what breaks, I would do so for anyone." The trees listened, the pool shimmered, and the star thread slipped into her lap. She took it, not with greed but awe, and in doing so made a pact, one stitch for every sorrow soothed. That was the price, a thread that never wore out, but only if she gave more than she kept. The Book of Stitches. In a cupboard behind Tom's bench, wrapped in oilcloth and tied with a shoelace, lies a book, thin, fragile, smelling of smoke and lavender. It's not written in ink. Each page is sewn lines of thread, creating the words. Not many would understand it, but Tom does. It's the record of every shoe made with the star thread, every foot it carried, every dream it supported. And on the last page, beneath the most recent line, there is only this: when the thread ends, walk with what remains. He closes the book gently. No sadness, only knowing. One rainy afternoon, before the thread began to fade, Tom made a pair of slippers, soft gray, wool-lined, no soles, only padding. They weren't for anyone in particular. He stitched them slowly, humming a tune no one else remembered. They sat in the corner of the shop for years. No one ever asked for them, no one ever wore them, and yet they never gathered dust, as if some gentle spirit cleaned them each night, waiting for who? Perhaps for you. The village beneath the rain, the village, as it does so often, is sleeping beneath a soft, persistent rain. Roofs glisten, gutters drip, moss drinks deeply from the cracks in stone. The crooked lane is empty now, but not lonely. The rain keeps it company, and within Tom's little shop the fire glows once more, not with work, but with warmth, because even after the last shoe is stitched, the story continues, in every step. And now, as your breath begins to slow again, let the raindrops fall across your thoughts like tiny silver beads, steady, soft, safe. Let yourself picture that quiet room, the slippers in the corner, the fire whispered, the book of stitched memories resting under Tom's hand, and your own footsteps, light as fog wandering through a world where every path is made of peace. There is nothing to solve here, nothing to chase, only softness, and stories, and shoes that carry you not away from the world, but gently, gently toward dreams. Ease into rest deeper, now deeper still. The thread is quiet, but your journey continues. Sleep without hurry, without worry, with wonder. Far beyond the reach of the cobbled lane, past valleys blanketed in fog and rivers that hum lullabies to the moon, there walks a figure known only as the dream walker. No one has seen their face, only their steps, left not on roads but in dreams. Sometimes you wake and remember footprints on a beach you've never visited, or moss pressed gently where your feet never stepped. That is the dream walker, and legend says they wear shoes stitched from a thread no longer of this world. A final gift from a cobbler who once sewed kindness into every seam. At night, when the shutters close and candles dim, the village exhales. The walls of old cottages creak with relief. The wind slows. Even the cats curl tighter, their purrs soft as feathers. And it's in this hush that the presence of the cobbler's magic is felt most, not seen, not spoken, but sensed, in the gentle warmth that lingers by your toes, in the weightlessness of blankets that feel like they were tucked by invisible hands. That is the thread, still working, still mending, still present in the small, good things. The moon as witness. There's something about the full moon that seems to light up the Cobbler's windows more brightly than any candle. Its silver beams slip through dusty panes, fall across rows of carefully crafted shoes, and rest gently on the worn wooden floor. They say the moon was there the night Tom first received the fairy thread, that she watched as it shimmered in his palm, and that every time he stitched under her light, the shoes carried a little moonlight within them, which is why, on nights like these, travelers sleep more deeply, and dreams drift more sweetly. A thread woven into time, most threads fray. They wear thin clothes, snap under pressure. But not this one, not the fairy thread. Its purpose wasn't durability, it was devotion. Each strand is woven with intent, with kindness, with story. And even when the spool emptied, the thread remained. Not in cloth, but in connection. A stitch becomes a memory. A seam becomes meaning. And every soul who ever walked in the cobbler's shoes still walks in the dreams of others, in the peace of strangers, in you right now. Once, in a village near the sea, a boatman arrived without a boat. He'd rowed it ashore years ago, carried people safely from storm to shore again and again, until one day he simply stepped out and never looked back. His boots were torn, salt-stiff, worn thin as parchment, but he smiled with eyes that had seen the worst and the best of what the sea could offer. He came to Tom quietly, sat without speaking, and the cobbler, without questions, stitched him new boots, soft enough to feel sand, strong enough to walk on waves. And when he left, they say the tide was quieter for days. Now imagine your own feet wrapped in shoes that fit not just your size, but your story. Shoes that hold your worries softly. Shoes that remember every gentle moment you forgot. Shoes that walk not on ground, but on grace. Let them take you now one step deeper into quiet, into warmth, into the still space where breath and story become one. The fire is still flickering in the cobbler's shop. The rain has slowed to a whisper, and all is well. You are carried. You are safe. You are deeply, deeply resting. Let the thread hold you. Let the story soothe you. Sleep is already walking toward you. The village was wrapped in a golden hush as autumn whispered through the trees. Leaves fell like slow music, spinning and twirling down the crooked lane. Tom watched from his doorway, the soft glow of the hearth behind him. There was magic in this time, the kind that felt like a gentle sigh. It was the season when the thread was said to hum softly, reminding all who listened that every ending carried a promise of beginning. And in the fading light, the shoes by the fire seemed to glow faintly, as if waiting for one last dance. One evening, a traveling bard arrived. His voice was a breeze through chimes, his songs stories sown with melody. He told Tom of distant lands, where shoes were made of wood and wheels rolled along muddy roads, of kings who wore slippers embroidered with gold thread, and peasants who dreamed of shoes soft enough to keep their feet warm through harsh winters. The bard paused, eyes glimmering in the firelight. "Why," he asked softly, "do your shoes carry stories as much as steps?" Tom smiled quietly. "Because," he whispered, "every soul touches a journey, and every journey holds a story." The bard nodded, strumming a lullaby that seemed to settle the stars themselves. Tom's workbench was scattered with scraps of leather, bits of thread, and small things, tiny seeds he found on his walks. He tucked them carefully into his pockets, not to plant, but to remember. For he believed that just as a seed carries life hidden inside, so too did every stitch carry hope. Each shoe was a vessel, holding not only feet but futures. And sometimes, on quiet nights, he swore he could hear the soft sprouting of new beginnings beneath the soles. Beyond the village stood the ancient willow, its branches brushing the earth like fingers in a gentle caress. It was said the willow listened to those who spoke softly, that if you sat beneath its boughs and whispered your worries, they would drift away on the wind. Tom often went there when the night was deepest. Sometimes he brought a shoe. He would sit and tell the willow the story of the traveler who would wear it next, and when the moon peeked through the leaves, the willow would sway, as if to say, "I am listening, and now, dear dreamer, feel yourself beneath a great willow. Branches drape gently like a soft blanket. The air hums low with the promise of peace. Your breath is steady, your heart is calm. Let the whispers carry away any worry, any haste. Imagine soft shoes, stitched with care, resting beside you. Feel their quiet strength, feel their gentle holding, and as the willow listens, so too does the night. Wrap yourself in this calm, let sleep come like a slow dance. Rest, now the path is soft beneath your feet. Sleep walks with you." On a quiet night, Tom pulled out a tiny, worn needle. It was unlike any other. Slim and smooth, it shimmered faintly under the candlelight, as if holding the soft glow of stars caught within its eye. This was the needle that had first sewn the fairy thread into leather long ago. He never spoke of it, but he used it only for the most special shoes, because it stitched not just with thread, but with a kind of quiet magic, a magic that whispered to the wearer, "You are held, you are seen, you are never alone." Outside, the village breathed with the rhythm of night, the gentle rustle of leaves, the distant hoot of an owl, the soft crackle of the hearth fires in each home. It was a breath held softly, like a secret between old friends. And in that breath, Tom's shoes rested, waiting for the feet that needed them next, for the journey that would carry the thread forward. In the stillness, you can almost hear the village sigh in contentment, and you are part of it. Tom's dreams were simple, of rivers that sang as they passed, of stars that twinkled just beyond reach, of feet that traveled gently, never faltering, and sometimes he dreamed of the thread itself, winding through time, a river of light, flowing quietly, endlessly, a reminder that kindness, like a well-worn shoe, carries us all home. One evening, as Tom sat stitching near the fire, the shoes at his feet stirred softly, not with sound, but with feeling, a gentle pulse, a soft sigh, a whisper that only the heart can hear. It said, "Thank you, not for the shoes, but for the love sewn into every seam, for the quiet care that never wears out. And now take a slow, deep breath. Feel the quiet whispering of the shoes around you. Let their softness cradle your thoughts. Imagine the gentle pulse of care stitched deep into leather. Feel your body soften. Your mind is slow. You are safe. You are warm. You are carried by a thread older than time itself. And now drift into dreams, wrapped in kindness, wrapped in light, wrapped in endless, gentle steps. Sleep is near. Let the thread of this story carry you softly. Good night, dear dreamer. There is a secret known only to the cobbler and the thread. A single stitch, hidden deep within every pair of shoes. It's small, nearly invisible, yet it carries the weight of 1,000 quiet promises. Promises of safety, promises of comfort, promises of gentle journeys. Tom never showed it, but he believed that whoever wore the shoes with the hidden stitch would never truly be lost, for their steps would always find their way home. One soft morning, just as dawn stretched pink fingers across the sky, a weaver came to the village. Her hands were nimble and her eyes bright with stories of cloth spun from moonlight and morning dew. She sought the cobbler, bringing with her a bundle of fine silk threads. Together they talked in whispers of weaving and stitching, of how thread and cloth could carry magic when handled with care. And as the sun rose higher, they began a new creation: shoes, woven with both leather and silk, soft as a dream. Behind the cobbler's workshop lay a small garden. It was no ordinary garden. Shoes of every kind, boots, slippers, sandals rested gently among blooming flowers and soft moss. Each shoe told a story of journeys taken, of places seen, of people loved. And as the breeze stirred, the shoes seemed to hum softly, a lullaby of footsteps, past and future, a gentle reminder that every step matters. In the quiet of the evening, Tom would light a single candle. Its flame danced softly, casting long shadows on the walls. He believed the candle and the thread were connected, both fragile, both full of light, both needing gentle hands to guide them. The flicker of the flame was like the heartbeat of the shoes he made, a soft rhythm to which the world could rest. Now, dear listener, picture yourself in that garden, shoes resting quietly among petals and leaves. Feel the soft earth beneath you. Breathe in the scent of flowers mingled with warm leather. Hear the distant flicker of a candle's flame. Feel your body soften as you settle among these gentle stories. Let your thoughts drift like petals on a slow-moving stream. You are safe. You are calm. You are ready to fall into a deep, peaceful sleep. Let the light guide you. Let the thread carry you. In the quiet hours before dawn, when the world holds its breath, the trees around the village murmur softly. Leaves brush against one another like old friends sharing secrets. Tom often sat beneath their branches, feeling the gentle hum of life around him. The whisper of leaves seemed to weave into the very thread he used, adding an unseen strength. It was as if nature itself had lent its quiet power to his craft, and every shoe stitched held a piece of that stillness, a breath of the forest's calm. Every thread tells a story. Tom's thread carried stories of laughter and tears, of journeys begun and endings gently reached. It was said the fairy thread could hold memories, not just of places, but of feelings, of hope, of dreams. When a shoe was worn, the thread remembered the footsteps, and when it wore thin, it whispered those memories to the next pair. A timeless dance of stories and steps. One night, the sky was sprinkled with falling stars. They streaked silently across the darkness, like shimmering threads pulled through the heavens. The villagers made wishes. Tom closed his eyes, wishing for shoes that could carry kindness beyond the village, and as he stitched by candlelight, a faint glow surrounded his hands. The stars seemed to bless his work, a reminder that even in the darkest nights, light is sown into the world. Winter came softly, dusting the village in white, snow-muffled footsteps wrapping the world in silence. Tom's shoes rested by the fire, warm and waiting. Outside, the The snowflakes danced slowly, settling like whispered promises. In that stillness, the village breathed deep and calm, a lullaby of white and quiet. And the thread inside each shoe seemed to hum with gentle warmth. Now, dear listener, imagine yourself in a world of falling stars and silent snow. Feel the softness of snowflakes brushing your skin. Hear the quiet hum of the village settling into night. Feel the warmth of gentle shoes holding your feet. Breathe in calm. Breathe out all the day's worries. Let your mind float on the whisper of leaves and the glow of starlight. You are safe. You are held. You are ready for a night of peaceful, healing sleep. Rest now, drift softly. In the soft dawn light, a weaver's gentle fingers twirled silk threads around her spool, spinning patterns as delicate as morning mist. She visited Tom often, sharing stories of the cloth she made and the secrets hidden within each weave. Together, they dreamed of shoes woven from both leather and silk, soft enough to carry the lightest steps, yet strong enough to hold the heaviest burdens. Each thread was a promise that kindness could be worn, felt, and passed on. And in their quiet collaboration, magic was born. Behind the cobbler's shop, the garden bloomed quietly under moonlight. Petals shimmered with dew, and soft moss grew like a plush carpet beneath ancient trees. It was said that shoes left to rest there absorbed the garden's calm, becoming softer with every night spent among the flowers. Tom often placed finished shoes among the blossoms, whispering stories to them as if the garden itself could listen. And in that secret garden, every shoe was a vessel of peace, ready to carry dreams wherever they may go. The candle on Tom's workbench danced in the evening breeze, casting long, gentle shadows. Its flame was small, but steady, like a heartbeat made visible. Tom believed the candle's light was woven into the shoes he made, adding warmth to every step. The flickering flame was a reminder that even the smallest light could guide someone through the darkest night. And as the flame flickered softly, it whispered a lullaby of hope and quiet strength. In the village, it was said that some shoes never truly stopped walking. They belonged to the night walkers, silent travelers who moved through dreams and shadows, carrying peace where it was needed most. Tom's shoes were said to be among them, soft-soled and stitched with the fairy thread. They moved quietly through the night, mending broken paths and guiding lost souls. If you listen closely, you might hear their footsteps on the wind, a gentle rhythm, lulling the world to sleep. Now, dear dreamer, imagine yourself walking softly beneath a sky full of stars. Feel the gentle moss beneath your feet. Hear the flicker of candlelight nearby. Breathe in the scent of blooming flowers and warm leather. Let the quiet rhythm of footsteps soothe your mind. Allow your body to relax deeply. Feel yourself drifting gently into sleep. You are safe. You are calm. You are ready to dream. Hidden among Tom's tools was a needle unlike any other, thin as moonlight, gleaming softly with a silver hue. Legends whispered that it was crafted by the fairies themselves, gifted to the cobbler as a sign of trust. This needle wove not just leather and thread, but dreams and gentle protection. Each stitch sewn with it carried a quiet power, the power to heal, to comfort, and to guide. And though Tom rarely spoke of it, he felt its magic in every shoe he crafted. The workshop came alive under the cloak of midnight. Shadows danced on the walls as Tom worked by the pale glow of a single candle. The air smelled of warm leather, soft wax, and the faintest hint of lavender. In these hours, time slowed. and the world outside felt far away. His hands moved with a steady, soothing rhythm, stitch by stitch, a lullaby of craftsmanship, and the shoes grew soft and strong, ready to carry their next wearer on peaceful journeys. One night, a traveler stopped by the village. Her feet were tired, and her eyes held a quiet longing. She told Tom stories of far-off lands, of mountains kissed by stars and rivers that sang ancient songs. She spoke softly of the kindness found in unexpected places, and as Tom listened, he felt the thread between them, a thread spun of shared dreams and gentle hope. With care, he began stitching shoes that would carry her safely through all the miles ahead. The candle flickered low as Tom whispered a quiet promise to the flame, that every shoe made would hold a piece of light for the darkest moments, light for the longest nights. The flame seemed to glow brighter, as if agreeing. It was a promise of warmth, of comfort, and of endless gentle steps. A promise carried not just in leather and thread, but in the quiet heart of the cobbler himself. Now, dear dreamer, close your eyes softly. Breathe in deeply, feeling calm, fill your lungs. Breathe out slowly, releasing all tension. Picture the silver needle weaving light and dreams into your path. Feel the warmth of candlelight cradling you. Imagine soft shoes carrying you gently through the night. Allow your body to relax. Your mind softens. Drift peacefully into sleep, wrapped in quiet kindness. Rest easy, sleep deeply. The soft leather Tom chose had a secret of its own. Tanned under gentle moonlight and kissed by morning dew, it sang a quiet song when touched, a melody of patience, of gentle strength, of endless journeys that began with a single step. Each piece of leather carried the memory of the forest and the calm of the village's breath. And when stitched with the fairy thread, it became a vessel of quiet magic. The village itself seemed to pulse with a slow, steady heartbeat. The creak of wooden wheels, the murmur of the stream, the soft steps of villagers returning home. Tom listened to these rhythms as he worked, weaving them into every shoe, for he knew that each step taken by the wearer was part of this heartbeat, a gentle reminder that no journey is ever truly alone. Beyond the village lay the whispering woods, ancient trees with leaves that seemed to speak in soft rustles. It was said that fairies danced there, spinning thread from moonbeams. Tom often walked these woods at dawn, feeling the magic in the air. He carried a small pouch filled with strands of the rarest thread, gifted by the forest spirits. And with each shoe, a bit of that whispering magic was stitched into the soles. The candle on Tom's workbench flickered and danced, casting gentle shadows that played like quiet music. Its flame was a dance of light and dark, of hope and rest. Watching it was like watching a lullaby unfold. And as the flame flickered softly, it wrapped the workshop in warmth and calm, the perfect companion to the soft, rhythmic sound of stitching. Now, dear listener, imagine yourself stepping softly through the whispering woods. Hear the rustle of leaves like gentle voices calling you home. Feel the soft leather shoes cradling your feet. See the candlelight flickering warmly ahead. Let the village's heartbeat match your own. Breathe deeply. Feel yourself sinking into calm. Drift gently into restful sleep, carried by the quiet magic of the cobbler's thread. Rest, now dream sweetly. The fairy thread was known for its softness, finer than any silk, yet stronger than the toughest hemp. It shimmered faintly in the moonlight, as if woven from stars themselves. Tom treated it like a precious treasure, threading it carefully through his needle. Each stitch was slow and deliberate, like a whispered prayer. He believed this thread carried the essence of kindness, woven into every loop and knot. As night deepened, the village seemed to hum with a melody only the heart could hear. The gentle creaking of wood, the soft rustle of leaves, the rhythmic tapping of Tom's needle. Together, they created a lullaby song that wrapped around the village like a warm blanket. A melody meant to soothe, to calm, and to ease weary souls into peaceful rest. One traveler, weary from long roads, came to Tom's shop under the silver light of dawn. Her feet bore the stories of countless miles, aching and worn. Tom welcomed her with a gentle smile, offering shoes stitched with the soft fairy thread. As she slipped them on, the traveler felt a warmth spread through her body, a quiet comfort, like a soft whisper, saying, "You are safe now." And with that, she closed her eyes, ready to rest at last. The candle flickered low, its flame a soft beacon in the stillness. Tom whispered a gentle wish into the light, a wish for every soul to find peace on their journey. The flame flickered in reply, as if understanding. It was a promise, made in light and thread, that no step would ever be taken alone, that kindness would always guide the way home. Now, dear dreamer, close your eyes gently. Breathe in slowly, feeling calm fill your chest. Breathe out softly, releasing any tension. Imagine the softest thread weaving comfort through your body. Feel the warm glow of candlelight soothing your mind. Let your heart beat in time with the midnight melody. Allow your body to sink deeper into rest. Drift gently into a night of peaceful sleep. As the sun dipped low, a soft breeze drifted through the village, carrying the scent of pine and warm earth. It rustled through the leaves and whispered gently around the cobbler's workshop. Tom paused, feeling the calm that the breeze brought, a quiet moment between day and night. That same breeze seemed to weave itself into the thread he used, softening each stitch, making each shoe a little lighter. It was nature's quiet blessing, a gentle breath to ease the soul. Near the village stood an ancient oak tree, its wide branches stretched like arms, welcoming the sky. The villagers believed the tree held centuries of wisdom in its bark and leaves. Tom often visited it before beginning his work, placing his hand gently on the rough bark. He imagined the tree's strength flowing into the thread and leather, grounding every pair of shoes with steady calm. In the soft rustle of its leaves, he heard stories of endurance and peace. Some nights, Tom believed the thread shimmered just a bit more brightly. He thought perhaps it was touched by starlight, spun from the heavens themselves, a thread not only strong and soft, but filled with hope. He worked quietly beneath the sky, imagining every stitch connecting the earth to the stars, creating shoes that could carry dreams as easily as feet. The candle's flame flickered gently, casting shadows that seemed to dance in time with Tom's hands. Its light was a symbol, a flicker of home, warmth, and safety. No matter how far a traveler roamed, the flame promised a place to return. Each shoe carried that promise within its seams, a soft beacon to guide the wearer through dark paths toward light. Now, dear listener, feel the soft evening breeze on your skin. Imagine the wise oak tree standing tall and steady. See the thread shimmering with starlight in the quiet night. Breathe in the calm. Breathe out any worries. Feel the candle's warm glow wrapping you in comfort. Let your body and mind gently release. Float softly into the peaceful arms of sleep. As twilight deepened, the village settled into a quiet song. The soft murmur of the stream, the rustle of curtains in the breeze, the distant call of an owl. These gentle sounds blended into a lullaby for the world. Tom listened closely, weaving this quiet melody into the sole of each shoe, so that when worn, they might carry their owners wrapped in a soothing embrace. A melody of calm to rest upon with every step. Tom's hands moved slowly, stitching each shoe with a gentle touch. Every needle pull was a small act of care, a tiny blessing sewn into the leather. He believed that kindness lived in these small moments, the softness of thread, the smoothness of leather, the rhythm of his breath. Each shoe became a quiet prayer, a wish for safe travels and peaceful nights. And with every stitch, the world felt a little softer, a little more gentle. In the deepest part of night, Tom imagined the paths his shoes would travel. Through forests kissed by moonlight, across quiet meadows where stars watched silently, along cobblestone streets where lanterns glowed softly. He saw dreamers walking those paths, their steps light and sure, guided by shoes that never wore out, carrying dreams as delicate as the thread that held them. The candle burned low but steady. Its flame is a small heart beating softly in the darkness. Tom thought of this heart as the soul of his work, a beacon for all who needed light in the night. And as the flame flickered, it seemed to whisper a final blessing for the day's end, a wish for calm, for rest, for dreams full of gentle magic. Now, dear dreamer, close your eyes softly. Feel the village's quiet song around you. Sense the gentle stitch of care holding you close. Picture the dreamer's path glowing faintly beneath your feet. Breathe in calm, breathe out any lingering thoughts. Let the candle's heart warm your soul. Surrender fully to rest. Drift slowly into deep, peaceful sleep. Sleep now, rest deeply. At dawn, the dew kissed the village softly, shimmering like tiny jewels on grass and leaves. Tom treasured these moments of gentle quiet, feeling the coolness wrap around him like a tender breath. He imagined the dew's softness weaving into the thread, making every stitch hold a drop of morning calm. Shoes crafted with such care would carry the freshness of dawn wherever they went, a silent blessing for new beginnings and peaceful journeys. The fairy thread was a mystery wrapped in softness and strength. Tom knew it came from a place where the light was gentlest and the magic most kind. Legends said it could mend more than just leather. It could mend hearts, worries, and dreams. And so, each stitch became a quiet act of healing, a whisper of hope sewn into every shoe. The night breathed gently through the village, a soft wind carrying the scent of pine and earth. It wrapped around the cobbler's shop like a calm embrace. Tom listened to this breath, letting it slow his heart and steady his hands. With every stitch, the breath seemed to weave itself into the shoes, so that those who wore them would feel the night's calm with every step. The candle's flame flickered low as the night deepened. Its soft glow is a reminder that even the smallest light can shine in the darkness. Tom whispered a final blessing into the phlegm, a wish for all feet that walk the earth to be carried gently. And as the flame dimmed, it seemed to smile back a promise of peace and rest. Now, dear dreamer, feel the soft kiss of dew on your skin. Imagine the fairy thread weaving gentle healing through you. Breathe in the night's calm breath. Breathe out all tension. See the candle's last glow wrap you in warmth. Allow your body to melt into peaceful rest. Drift slowly, softly, into deep, healing sleep. Tom's hands moved with a gentle certainty as he made the final stitch on the last shoe of the night. Each loop of thread carried the quiet strength of all that had come before, the moonlit nights, the whispered blessings, the patient care. He imagined the shoe walking softly through dreams, carrying the wearer safely through shadowed paths. The last stitch was more than a finish, it was a promise, sewn with love and quiet magic. A promise that every journey, no matter how long, would be met with gentle support. Outside, the village slept under a blanket of stars. The midnight calm settled like a soft hush over rooftops and fields. Even the trees seemed to hold their breath, wrapped in gentle night. In the cobbler's workshop, only the soft hum of stitches filled the air, a steady rhythm that matched the heartbeats of those who would wear his shoes, safe and sound. Though the night was deep, Tom knew morning would come with its soft light and fresh hope. The shoes he made carried that promise, to a gentle reminder that every darkness is followed by dawn, that each step forward is a step toward something new, something calm and bright. And so, beneath the quiet stars, Tom smiled softly, ready to rest until the morning breeze called him again. The candle's flame flickered, soft and steady, a quiet friend through the night. Its gentle light was a beacon of warmth and safety, a small glow that never faded. Tom watched it dim slowly, feeling its peace settle in his heart. A final lullaby of light and love before sleep took him gently by the hand. Now, dear dreamer, feel the calm of the midnight hush. Imagine the last stitch holding you gently. Breathe in peace, breathe out all worries. See the candles flicker, cradling your soul. Let your body relax deeply. Allow yourself to drift softly into restful sleep. Sleep well, rest peacefully. As dawn stretched its soft fingers across the sky, the village began to stir in quiet reverence. Golden light spilled gently over rooftops and fields, touching every leaf and blade of grass with warmth. Tom stood by his workshop door, breathing in the fresh morning air, feeling the world anew. He knew the shoes he had crafted would carry their wearers through countless days and peaceful nights. And with a heart full of calm, he whispered a final blessing into the dawn's gentle light. The journey of each shoe was endless, like the soft turning of seasons. From the village lanes to the wide open fields, from quiet woods to distant towns, they traveled with quiet grace. Every step was a whisper, every path a story unfolding. And though the world changed, the shoes held steady, soft, strong, and full of gentle magic. Their story was one of kindness, patience, and the quiet power of care. The magic in Tom's shoes was quiet but real, not loud or flashy, but like a soft wind that carries a secret smile, a magic woven from moonlight, dew, and the touch of the fairy thread. It was a reminder that even the smallest acts of care can carry us through the darkest nights, and that love, stitched quietly into the fabric of life, never truly wears out. The candle's final glow softened and faded, leaving behind a calm stillness. Tom's workshop rested in peaceful silence, wrapped in the promise of rest. And as the world around him woke to a new day, the cobbler's heart was full of gratitude, full of hope, full of the gentle magic that never ends. Now, dear dreamer, feel the dawn's gentle light warming your skin. Imagine the endless journey unfolding softly before you. Breathe in calm and kindness. breathe out any last thoughts of the day. Let the quiet magic wrap you in warmth. Allow yourself to drift completely into peaceful, restorative sleep. Good night, dear one. Rest now. Dream deeply. Why the Queen spoke only to owls at dusk. Welcome, dear listener. Let your body sink into comfort. Feel the soft warmth of your bed or chair. Take a deep, slow breath in and gently breathe out, releasing any tension. Allow your mind to grow still like a quiet pond at dusk. With every breath, feel yourself drifting softly into calm. Our story today begins in the quiet gardens of a grand medieval castle, where the twilight sky begins to blush with the gentle colors of dusk. The air is cool and fragrant, carrying the sweet scent of blooming yew trees. Their dark green needles whisper softly as the breeze passes through, rustling leaves in a gentle, rhythmic lullaby. In this garden lives a queen, wrapped in soft silks and quiet mystery. She is known far and wide, not just for her grace and wisdom, but for a secret, a tender habit that sets her apart. As the sun dips low and paints the sky with shades of purple and gold, she walks slowly among the yew trees, and she speaks, but only to the owls. The owls perch silently on twisted branches, their round eyes shimmering like polished amber in the dimming light. Their feathers, soft as whispers, catch the last rays of the sun, glowing with a faint silver sheen. In medieval times, owls were believed to be messengers between worlds, between the seen and unseen, the known and the mysterious. Some believed they carried wisdom from the stars. Others thought they bore the voices of the ancients. The Queen, with her gentle voice and kind heart, understood these stories well. To her, the owls were not merely birds, but trusted friends and guides. As the evening deepens, the gentle hoot of an owl breaks the stillness, a soft, rolling sound that echoes like a lullaby through the garden. Listen closely, hear the quiet rhythm of feathers brushing the cool air as the owls take flight, circling above the yew trees like silent guardians. Feel the calm that settles in the space between their calls, a peaceful silence that invites dreams to begin. Now, imagine yourself there in that garden at dusk, the cool earth beneath your feet, soft leaves brushing past your hands. A gentle breeze plays through the branches, carrying the soft scent of pine and flower. The sky above fades from gold to deep indigo, speckled with the first stars of night, and just beyond, the quiet hoot of an owl carries a message only your heart can hear. With every breath, let the peaceful garden grow more vivid in your mind's eye. Feel the softness of moss underfoot. Hear the crackle of a distant hearth, warm and steady. Notice the rhythm of your breath, slow and steady. Let your eyelids grow heavy, your thoughts gentle and light. Allow the Queen's whispered words to drift through the garden's hush, carrying you softly into rest. Our story deepens now in the hush of early evening. The Queen, wrapped in her flowing cloak of deep blue, steps carefully along a winding stone path. The stones are cool beneath her soft slippers, smoothed by many years of footsteps. Around her, the yew trees stand tall and ancient, their twisted branches framing the dimming sky like silent sentinels. She pauses, looking up at the gathering owls, their wise eyes reflecting the last light of day. The Queen's voice is a soft murmur, barely louder than the rustling leaves. She speaks in gentle whispers, telling the owls her hopes, her fears, and her dreams. Owls in medieval lore were thought to bridge two worlds, the earthly realm and the mysterious beyond. They were seen as keepers of secrets and guides through darkness. Some believed their calls carried messages to the stars or even to lost loved ones. In the quiet of the garden, you can almost hear the stories floating on the breeze, mingling with the scent of pine and earth. Imagine the queen's soft words drifting like feathers through the air, settling into the night sky. Her whispers are filled with kindness and a longing for peace. The owls listen, their feathers barely stirring, their eyes full of quiet understanding. Sometimes the queen tilts her head, and an owl responds with a gentle hoot as if answering her heart's call. The exchange is like a secret song, shared only between them. Now, picture yourself standing nearby, wrapped in the cool evening air. The gentle breeze brushes softly against your skin, carrying the faint sound of the owl's calls. The leaves rustle softly overhead, a natural melody to soothe your thoughts. Your breath flows slowly and calmly, in harmony with the rhythm of the garden. Each exhale releases tension, leaving you lighter, softer, ready to rest. In this moment, the castle feels like a haven suspended in time, where the ordinary world melts away. The quiet of the night wraps around you like a warm blanket. Imagine the soft glow of lanterns flickering gently nearby, their light casting playful shadows among the trees. The faint crackle of a hearth fire's in the distance adds to the cozy stillness. All is calm. All is peaceful. The Queen's story is a reminder that sometimes the most profound conversations happen in silence or whispers, that the most powerful messages are carried not by loud words, but by gentle connections, and that in the embrace of nature's quiet wisdom, hearts can find solace. Now, feel your own heart slowing, sinking softly with the quiet garden around you. Let your mind drift, carried on the soft wings of the owl's flight. Feel your body sinking deeper into comfort. Your eyelids are growing heavy. Your breath is steady, calm, and slow. As the owls take flight under the starry sky, their feathers brushing the cool night air, let their gentle hoots carry you softly toward dreams. A journey filled with peace, wonder, and the gentle magic of dusk. Now, as your breathing remains soft and even, let yourself wander deeper into the serene world of the castle gardens. Picture the queen standing beneath one of the oldest yew trees, its bark rough yet warm to the touch, shaped by centuries of wind and rain. She reaches out gently, her fingers brushing the delicate feathers of an owl perched just within reach. The owl's eyes hold a calm wisdom, as if they've seen the passing of countless seasons and the turning of many moons. In medieval times, yew trees were sacred symbols of immortality and renewal, standing quietly at the edge of worlds. The Queen chose this special place because the U.S. deep roots seemed to anchor her whispered words, and the owls, with their silent flight and steady gaze, carried those words beyond the garden, across invisible realms. Imagine the softness of the owl's feathers, how they shimmer in the fading light. Hear the gentle rustle as the bird shifts its weight, settling more comfortably on the branch. The Queen's voice is a soothing murmur, barely audible over the quiet night, as she tells the owl of her hopes for peace within her kingdom. The breeze carries the subtle scent of pine needles and damp earth, grounding the scene in calm and stillness. Leaves overhead rustle with a delicate shush, like a lullaby whispered just for you. The stars begin to twinkle softly, one by one, like tiny lanterns lighting the path toward sleep. Feel yourself breathing with the rhythm of the garden, slow, and steady. Each breath brings calm. Each breath out lets go of worries. You are wrapped in the gentle embrace of dusk, safe and serene. The Queen's whispered words drift into the night, and you can almost hear the owls respond with soft hoots, a conversation as old as time. These calls seem to rise and fall like waves, soothing and steady, inviting your mind to relax and wander freely. Imagine the owls spreading their wings and gliding silently into the darkening sky, carrying the Queen's messages far and wide. Now, picture yourself sinking deeper into your own cozy space. Feel the warmth of your bed or chair, the soft weight of your blanket. Your body is heavy and relaxed. Your thoughts are gentle and drifting. Your breath is calm and steady. As the owls disappear into the night sky, their presence lingers like a soft melody in your heart, a reminder that even in silence there is connection, even in darkness there is light, and even in stillness there is gentle magic. Allow yourself to float now, carried on the wings of those quiet night birds, safe, calm, and ready for peaceful rest. As you remain settled and calm, feel your breath flow gently like a quiet stream, steady and peaceful. The Queen's garden, bathed in twilight's tender glow, holds a secret softness, a sanctuary woven from whispered words and feathered wings. Imagine the gentle flutter of owl feathers as they stir softly in the dusk air, their silent flight a quiet dance between branches. The cool breeze carries their gentle murmurs like a lullaby meant to soothe restless hearts. In the medieval world, many believed owls to be creatures of mystery and magic. Their eyes, large and unblinking, were said to see beyond the veil into hidden truths. The Queen trusted this, speaking to the owls because they could hear what no one else could. She shared her thoughts, her worries, and in return, they listened without judgment, carrying her words softly into the night. Picture the Queen's delicate hands as she clasps a small silver bella token gifted to her by the castle's elder, said to call the owls when rung softly. She lifts it gently, the faint tinkle ringing clear through the stillness. Almost immediately, an owl glides silently from its perch, feathers whispering through the air as it approaches. Their connection is tender and unspoken bond built on trust and calm. Now, breathe deeply and slowly, feeling the cool air fill your lungs. As you exhale, release any tension, sinking deeper into comfort. Feel the soft earth beneath you, steady and strong. Hear the quiet crackle of the hearth fire from inside the castle, its warmth wrapping around you like a comforting shawl. The Queen's voice, soft and steady, carries through the garden as she recounts stories to her feathered friends, stories of ancient kings, of brave knights, and of peaceful days. Her words flow like a gentle stream, calming and rich with history. Imagine these tales drifting through the trees, settling softly in the night air. With each owl's hoot, feel your mind grow lighter. Imagine the steady beat of their wings as they circle above, guiding your thoughts toward rest. The garden, the Queen, the owls, they all blend into a soothing tapestry of sound and silence. A gentle embrace to carry you toward peaceful dreams. Feel your body relax deeper still, sinking like a feather into softness, your muscles loose and warm, your mind quiet and free, your breath a slow, steady rhythm. As the owls take flight once more, their shadows glide gently across the garden path. Their silent wings seem to carry away any lingering worries or restless thoughts. Only calm remains, soft, steady, and full of quiet magic. Now, allow your eyes to close if they haven't already. Let the soothing sounds of the garden lull you gently into rest. You are safe here, wrapped in the Queen's peaceful world, ready to drift softly into sleep. As you continue to rest peacefully, let your breath remain slow and even, a soft rhythm that carries you deeper into calm. The castle garden, now embraced fully by night, holds a quiet magic, a stillness woven with the gentle sounds of nature settling into rest. The owls, perched high in the yew trees, seem like gentle sentinels, watching over the peaceful kingdom below. Their eyes, glowing softly like tiny lanterns, reflect the starlight as they listen to the Queen's soft whispers. In medieval times, owls were often thought to be guardians of secrets, protectors of knowledge hidden from the busy world. The Queen believed that by speaking to these mysterious birds, she could share her deepest thoughts without fear or interruption. They carried her hopes through the twilight, their wings weaving stories into the fabric of the night. Imagine the delicate brush of feathers as an owl lands quietly beside the Queen. She smiles softly, her voice barely more than a breath, telling the bird of her wish for harmony throughout her realm. The owl blinks slowly, as if understanding every word, before lifting off silently into the dark sky. Feel the cool night air on your skin, gentle and soothing. Hear the soft rustling of leaves as the breeze moves slowly through the branches. Imagine the faint crackle of embers from the castle hearth, a comforting sound like a warm heartbeat in the quiet. Let these peaceful sounds wrap around you, holding you gently as you rest. The Queen's garden is a place of calm connection, where silence speaks louder than words. Here, beneath the stars and the watchful eyes of owls, worries fade like the last light of day. Let your mind drift on this calm tide, floating freely and effortlessly. Picture yourself walking softly through the garden, the soft earth cushioning your steps. Feel the night's cool embrace, the delicate touch of leaves brushing past. Each breath you take fills you with peace. Each breath out releases any lingering tension. The hoot of an owl calls out softly, a gentle echo through the trees. Let that sound be a lullaby, guiding your thoughts toward calm and rest. The Queen's whispers mingle with the night air, a soothing melody carried on feathered wings. As you sink deeper into comfort, your body grows heavier, yet your mind remains serene and clear. Feel the quiet magic of the garden settle within you, a soft glow that warms your heart. With every breath, you become more relaxed, more at peace. Now, close your eyes fully if you haven't yet. Let the gentle night cradle you, the Queen's secret world fading softly as you drift toward sleep. Feel your breath continue to move gently, steady and calm, like a quiet river flowing smoothly through the night. The garden is hushed now, wrapped in velvet darkness, yet alive with soft sounds, the gentle hoots of owls, the rustle of leaves, the distant murmur of the castle settling into rest. The Queen moves slowly beneath the yew trees, her silken cloak brushing softly against the mossy stones beneath her feet. She pauses beneath a particularly grand yew, its branches heavy with dark green needles that shimmer faintly in the moonlight. In medieval stories, yew trees were often planted in sacred places, churchyards and castle gardens, believed to protect souls and offer connection to other worlds. The Queen feels this ancient power here, as if the tree itself listens to her words. She places a delicate hand against its bark, feeling the quiet strength beneath the rough surface. Imagine the cool texture of the bark beneath your fingertips, rough but steady, grounding you. Hear the soft sigh of the wind weaving through the branches above, carrying whispered secrets. The owl's eyes gleam nearby, watching silently, waiting to carry the queen's whispered hopes into the night sky. The queen's voice is a soft murmur, blending with the night sounds, telling the owl of her dreams for peace and kindness in her kingdom. She speaks slowly, with care, every word a gentle thread woven into the fabric of the evening. The owl blinks, then lifts off quietly, feathers brushing the air as it disappears into the star-studded sky. Feel your body grow heavier with relaxation, sinking deeper into comfort. Your muscles soften, your heartbeat slows, your mind quiets. The garden's peaceful magic flows into you, a soothing balm to carry you toward rest. Picture the stars twinkling gently overhead, their soft light like tiny lanterns guiding you into dreamland. Hear the quiet hoot of the owls echoing through the night, a melody that soothes and calms. Let these sounds wrap around you like a cozy blanket. The queen's story, carried by feathered wings, becomes a lullaby for your soul, a soft invitation to let go and drift freely into sleep's embrace. Now, let your eyelids close gently if they haven't yet. Feel the quiet garden, the gentle owls, and the wise yew tree hold you safely as you surrender to rest. Feel the gentle rhythm of your breath as you relax deeper into comfort, a soft wave of calm flowing through your body. The garden, now bathed in moonlight, glows softly with silvery hues that make every leaf and stone shimmer with quiet magic. The queen walks slowly through this enchanted place, her footsteps muffled by the thick moss beneath her feet. In the heart of the castle's garden stands a small stone bench, worn smooth by time and stories. The queen pauses here, sitting gently and closing her eyes, listening to the soft night sounds. Around her, the owls gather, their feathers whispering in the cool night air, their eyes glistening like stars in the dark. Medieval people often believed owls were guardians of wisdom, their calls guiding travelers safely through the night. The queen, too, trusted the owls' quiet counsel, speaking to them as trusted friends who carried her worries and dreams beyond the castle walls. Imagine the soft brush of feathers as the owls settle around the queen, their presence a calming circle of quiet companionship. Hear the gentle hoots rising and falling, a peaceful song woven through the stillness. The queen's whispered words blend with the night, a tender murmur carried by the cool breeze. Feel your body relax deeper still, every muscle softening, your heart slowing to a calm, steady beat. Your mind drifts gently like a leaf on a quiet stream, floating free and light. The garden's magic, the owl's calls, and the queen's whispered hopes all wrap around you like a soft, warm blanket. Picture the stars above, twinkling like tiny lanterns, lighting the way into restful dreams. The gentle night air fills you with calm, each breath a soothing wave washing over you. The distant crackle of the hearth fire adds a gentle rhythm, like a slow heartbeat, steady and warm. The queen's story becomes a soft lullaby, a gentle invitation to surrender, to rest, to let go of the day and float peacefully into sleep. Now, allow your eyes to close fully if they haven't yet. Let the quiet garden, the wise owls, and the shimmering stars carry you gently into the arms of dreams. Let your breath settle even more deeply, a slow, peaceful tide that carries you softly toward rest. Imagine the queen rising from the smooth stone bench, her cloak brushing quietly as she walks through the garden, where moonbeams dance like silver ribbons through the leaves. The owls watch her silently, their feathers shimmering in the pale light, their gentle eyes reflecting the calm night sky. Long ago, in medieval times, it was believed that owls held the secret to understanding the hidden world, carrying messages from dreams, visions, and even the stars themselves. The queen knew this secret well, speaking only to the owls at dusk, when the veil between worlds was thin and magic felt near. Picture the queen gently reaching out her hand, an invitation for the owls to gather close. The soft flutter of wings fills the cool air as the birds circle gracefully, a delicate dance that feels as timeless as the stars above. The queen's voice is a soft whisper, carrying stories of hope and peace into the night. Feel your body melt further into comfort, heavy yet light, sinking deeper into softness. Your muscles loosen like petals unfolding in the warm night. Your mind drifts like the gentle sway of tree branches, calm and free. Imagine the quiet sounds of the garden, the soft rustle of leaves, the distant call of an owl, the faint crackle of the fire inside the castle. These gentle noises are like a lullaby, soothing your senses and wrapping you in tranquility. The queen's whispered words weave a tapestry of peace, inviting you to let go of all worries and sink into the gentle embrace of night. Let the calm of the garden fill you like a soft breeze brushing your skin, carrying you slowly toward dreams. Your eyelids grow heavy, your breath steady and calm. The quiet garden, the wise owls, and the shimmering stars hold you safely now. You are ready to drift peacefully, carried on wings of calm. With your breath soft and steady, allow yourself to sink even deeper into relaxation, like a feather floating down onto a bed of moss. The queen now walks slowly toward a quiet fountain nestled at the garden's heart, its water shimmering under the moonlight, the gentle splash a soothing melody in the still night. Owls perch quietly nearby, their eyes reflecting the silver light, guardians of this sacred, peaceful place. In medieval lore, water was thought to hold the secrets of the soul, clear and still, pools where dreams and reality meet. The queen speaks softly here, to the owls and to the water itself, sharing her wishes for her people's happiness and safety. The ripples shimmer and fade, carrying her hopes quietly into the night air. Feel the cool mist from the fountain brush against your skin, fresh and gentle. Hear the soft trickle of water, steady and calm, like a heartbeat that slows your thoughts and soothes your mind. Imagine the peaceful scent of blooming night flowers, delicate and sweet, filling the air around you. The queen's voice is barely more than a breath, a gentle thread weaving her hopes into the stillness. The owls listen closely, their soft hoots a quiet reply, a lullaby to soothe the heart and ease the mind. As you breathe in this calm, feel your body soften completely, sinking into a deep, warm comfort. Your muscles relax, your heart slows, your thoughts grow quiet and gentle. The garden's magic wraps around you like a soft shawl, holding you safe and serene. Picture the stars above, twinkling softly, like guardian lights watching over your dreams. The gentle night carries you slowly, gently, toward a place of peaceful rest. Allow your eyelids to close fully now, if they haven't yet. The queen, the owls, and the shimmering garden hold you tenderly as you drift into sleep's embrace. Your breath flows softly and steadily, carrying you deeper into calm and comfort. The Queen's garden is now wrapped in a complete night's embrace, where the silence is full of gentle whispers, softly hooting leaves, rustling in a slow dance with the breeze. The Queen sits beside the fountain, her eyes closed, listening to the night's lullaby, the soft rhythm of nature's breath. Medieval people often believed that dusk was a magical time, a quiet threshold when the world shifts and hidden voices can be heard more clearly. The Queen's quiet conversations with the owls take place in this precious moment when the air feels charged with gentle power. Imagine the cool night air brushing your skin softly, like the lightest touch of feathers. Hear the owl's distant calls echo through the garden, each hoot a calming note resonating deep within your heart. Feel the soft rustle of leaves, like a whispering lullaby, inviting you to let go and relax. The Queen opens her eyes slowly, gazing up at the star-speckled sky, her face peaceful and calm. She whispers a final wish to the owls, a wish for peace and rest, not only for herself, but for all who dwell in her kingdom, and for you, listening now, wrapped in the night's gentle arms. Feel your body melt further into comfort, every breath softer and slower, every muscle loose and heavy. Your mind drifts gently, like a leaf floating on a quiet stream, carried effortlessly toward rest. The garden's peaceful magic enfolds you, wrapping you in a cocoon of calm. Imagine the soft glow of the stars above, a celestial blanket that lights your way into dreams. The quiet night sounds the owls, the water, the breezer, a gentle chorus singing you to sleep. Let your eyes close fully now, if they haven't already. Feel the Queen's garden and her wise owls hold you safely, guiding you softly into the embrace of restful sleep. Your breath is calm and slow, like the gentle ebb and flow of a peaceful tide. The garden grows quieter still, the last soft hoots of the owls fading into the night's gentle hush. The Queen rises with grace, her movements as soft as the flutter of feathers, and walks slowly along a path lined with delicate night-blooming flowers. In medieval tales, night-blooming flowers were thought to hold magic, their petals opening only under moonlight, symbolizing secrets whispered in the dark. The Queen's footsteps are careful as she passes by these blooms, her voice a soft murmur, sharing gentle secrets with the garden. Imagine the sweet scent of these flowers drifting through the cool night air, calming and soothing. Feel the soft breeze brush your skin, carrying the scent and the Queen's whispered words. The rustling leaves, the distant crackle of the castle hearth, and the faint echo of owl calls blend into a lullaby just for you. The Queen pauses beneath a great yew tree, its branches wide and welcoming. She places her hand on the bark, feeling its ancient strength. With a quiet smile, she looks upward to the stars, her heart full of hope and peace. Let your body sink even deeper now, heavy and warm, fully supported. Your thoughts grow gentle and light, like feathers drifting on a soft breeze. Your breath flows steady and calm, carrying you closer to restful sleep. Picture the soft light of the stars above, shimmering like tiny lanterns, lighting a path into dreams. The garden's magic and the Queen's quiet presence hold you gently. You are safe, peaceful, and ready to drift away. Close your eyes fully now, if they are not closed already. Feel the night wrap you in its soft embrace, guiding you gently into the quiet, restful sleep you deserve. With each gentle breath, feel yourself settling deeper and deeper into a soft cocoon of calm. The The garden around the queen fades slowly into a soothing dreamscape, where moonlight and starlight mingle like soft silver threads woven through the dark. The owls have flown silently back to their nests, their gentle hoots now a distant, peaceful memory. In the quiet hush of the medieval night, the Queen's whispered stories become part of the gentle rhythm of the world, a quiet lullaby sung only at dusk. Her voice, now a soft echo, invites you to rest, to release the day, and to let sleep carry you softly away. Imagine yourself lying on a bed of soft moss beneath the yew trees, the cool night air wrapping around you like a silky blanket. Feel the gentle pulse of the earth beneath you, steady and warm, cradling you safely. The stars above twinkle like quiet guardians watching over your dreams. Your body is completely relaxed now, heavy and light all at once, floating in a calm sea of peace. Your mind is clear and still, drifting gently like a leaf on a slow-moving stream. Each breath is a whisper of calm, each moment drawing you closer to deep, restful sleep. The queen's secret garden and her wise owls become a soft sanctuary in your dreams, a place where peace blooms eternal. Let yourself drift now, wrapped in the tender embrace of night and story, carried gently into sleep's sweet arms. Thank you for joining this quiet journey beneath the stars and through the garden of whispered secrets. May your dreams be soft and kind, and your rest deep and renewing. Good night and sleep well.